Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Indian Pharmacologists United Network, I, Dr. Mrudu, warmly welcome you all to today's national webinar, Med AI Unboxed From Prompts to Practice. We are truly honored to have with us our esteemed speaker, Dr. Radhika Sherkhane ma'am, Professor and Head of Department of Pharmacology at SDM College of Medical Sciences and Hospital, Dharwad. Ma'am brings immense academic experience and insight into innovative teaching methodologies, and we are excited to learn from her expertise. I'm sure this session will be highly engaging and insightful for all of us. Without further delay, I would like to invite Dr. Radhika Sherkhane ma'am to take over the session. Thank you, and over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Mrudu. I am honored to be here on the platform of Indian Pharmacologist United Network of India, and I thank wholeheartedly the organizers to have given me this opportunity. Let me, before share my screen, ask you whether the audio is clear.
Yes, ma'am. The audio and video both are clear.
Okay, please permit me to share my screen and please confirm if everything is visible here.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
You're not able to see it, right?
Yes, ma'am, the PPT is visible.
All right, thank you. Just confirm if it is in the full screen mode.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, so shall we begin?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good morning to the August audience and a warm welcome to all my friends, colleagues, senior teachers, PG students and faculty from other departments. I'm honored to be a part of Indian Pharmacologist United Network's webinar on Med AI Unboxed From Prompts to Practice. Now, this webinar is going to highlight a few very important aspects to both the newbies, the novice AI users, and the ones who are expert in the field. Before which I would like to thank the organizers for having given me this opportunity, Dr. Arvind Singh Pawar sir, especially for encouraging such webinars on a routine monthly basis. So let's begin, and I would just tell you a few important things before I start. We all have to know about the session objectives. So we are very, a few old timers, my friends, peers and colleagues would agree with me that during our MBBS days, we all were around a cadaver on an anatomical dissection table, and we have evolved from that stage to the stage where we have virtual dissection tables, the anatomy table, which gives us layers of I would request the organizers to please mute the participants. So request the participants to mute themselves. All right. Dr. Nikita, please mute yourself. All right. So this is how we have evolved from the anatomy table to the anatomage table. The dissection table has now become virtual. Also, for pharmacologists, we have evolved from chymographs, that is isolation of our animals in the quarantine, and also from there to using CAL simulation softwares, MyCalSoft, who doesn't remember that? And now we have shifted to the era of personalized learning with an AI tool. So from old age times to the present futuristic trends, we have come a long way. So this seminar is going to give you a few of these highlights. Of course, I agree that the crowd is quite varied, with some of you being very expert in this field. So I'll have to focus on both the basic novice team as well as the participants who are experts. So bear with me where you feel that a few very basic steps are being told to you, and the experts would always feel that there should have been more. So I will take you through this journey, before which I want to know the temperature, as we call it in the AI terms, of the audience. I want to know the AI temperature of the audience. So quickly, all the audience, just look at this question. I'll read it for you. Before you start answering, choose your option and then the emoji. The question is, how frequently do you currently use AI tools for academic or teaching purposes? Show me if you are a novice or you have been using. Okay, I see many thumbs up. That means you have been regularly using, many of you being daily users. I see hearts. Okay, so there are many thumbs up there. Oh, that's very nice. So, all right, I can see some people occasionally using, some people never using it. Very few of you have never used. Okay, that's very nice. Thank you so much for your response. Here comes the second question for you guys. Let me see what is now the feeling. How comfortable are you while integrating AI tools in your teaching learning practices? Same emojis again, choose your option and use them. Okay, most of you are very confident. Many of you have been curious about the training program, or at many thumbs up again, fairly comfortable. I can see many festive icons too. So you are very curious to know it. Okay, that gives us a very nice background. As I was expecting, there is a mixed crowd of audience. So those who have curiosity about learning, I would try my best to show you a few demos of some basic tools. And those who are very confident using them, I hope I meet your expectations. So let's get started with this. I now know the temperature. We are in between the temperature, some of being novice users. So the session is divided into 4 parts. One, I will quickly tell you definition, evolution, subsets, and models of AI. I also will tell you some applications of the tools in medical education. I'll focus mainly on teaching, learning, assessment tools, pros and cons, and ethical use of AI in medical education. So please mind me, I'm going to tell you only about uses of such tools in our medical education. It's irrespective of the department. However, I will be using some pharmacology examples. So let's start. Now, what you see on your screens, on most of the slides, I have mentioned on the right hand of the screen, the tool, the AI tool, which I have used to create some of these into my PPTs. So I have mentioned, most of you who are curious can look at the right hand side of each of the slides. You will get the tool from where the content has been built. And any questions you can put up in the chat box and we can answer them later. So enjoy this. This is an AI avatar.
Everyone, let's hear from my friend Dr. Radhika regarding the evolution of medical education with the advent of many AI tools. Come, let's all hop into upskilling our AI knowledge. Enjoy the session. Good morning, everyone. Let's hear from you.
So this is an AI avatar. We use set induction at the beginning of every session to introduce some important, interesting topic related to that particular session. So you can use these AI avatars, like just I did, for your sessions where you can add signs and symptoms in the avatar. You can clone yourself. I just made another character. You can clone yourself and make some very interesting points at the beginning of the session, or you can even make signs and symptoms in the patient and create avatars like this. I have done this using a free tool. Most of the tools which I'm going to tell you are free. They have limited credits. This is one among them, and that's Agent. Before I start the actual session, the information to all of you is the content that I am presenting today is just for educational purposes. I allow you, or I can say suggest you, to be an independent professional judge to the content. That's because my training has been basically just with some certification courses and by attending webinars just like this one. And I have just put in my experience about using these AI tools. So I would suggest you take your judgment based on the tools which are most comfortable for use for your content. So having said that, let's move into the first section. That's the definition. I would just keep it very simple. That's because we are not technical people. We need to remember just the concept. And therefore, the definition or by a competent authority of AI is that the computational system's ability to perform tasks which are typically done using human intelligence. For instance, if machines can do by thinking some content which can be learned, reasoned, can be solved with a problem, can be perceived, and a decision can be taken, then the machine is called intelligent. So this concept is of artificial intelligence. When machines perform intelligent tasks mimicking human intelligence is when they are called artificially intelligent. So knowing this definition, let me tell you briefly the interesting history of AI. It all started in 1940s. There are two people who I can name here with the non-technical crowd. One is Alan Turing. As you can see here, Alan Turing was the scientist, a computational scientist who showed this importance of AI tools and the importance of various subsets of AI in scientific fields. And the father of AI, John McCarthy. So the events of related to AI development started in 1940s, and that's when the neural network development also started. However, it was only until 1966 that the growth was immense. The connection between pharmacology and that of AI is that the most major technical advances, knowledge advances, textbook advances in pharmacology also happened during 1950s. So we ran parallel to the development of AI. Though AI seems very futuristic, it also started with many of the medical subjects. So after Alan Turing's question that can machines think, this led to the concept of artificial intelligence. I'll tell you just one anecdote in the scientific history of AI is that Alan Turing, when he asked a question like this, that whether machines can think, is when he conducted a small test. He had a human judge and he took text conversations with machines and humans. The text conversation was hidden from him, and when he got responses, if the context to which the question was asked, the responses from the machine were just like that or indistinguishable from the human responses, then the machine was said to be thoughtful. It was as good as humans in thinking. And that's when it all started. So John McCarthy led it further to call it or coined the term artificial intelligence. The first chatbot was ELIZA, which was in 1966. At the mid of 1970 to 80s, there was a winter. That means nothing much happened. And then started the advent of machine learning, deep learning, reinforcement learning. The deep learning concepts were more clear in 2006. Then we had LLMs, or large language models, being developed in 2018. This was the year when we got our GPTs, that is our generative pre-trained transformers. GPT-1 started in 18 and then 19, 20, 22, 23. 23 gave us GPT 3.5. 2024 we had GPT-4, and then in August 2025 we have a recent GPT-5. And that's how the revolution in our AI happened. So having told you this, let me show you the remaining aspects of the types of subsets or types of AI depending on its capabilities. We call them into three types. The one which is happening right with us in our generation is the narrow AI or artificial narrow intelligence, ANI. This is using this AI technology in our day-to-day routine, that is using our Siri and Alexa and Cortana in our living rooms, using our MC face punch biometrics daily and having self-driven cars. This is no longer imaginable. We are already using them. While this artificial intelligence in the form of general AI is hypothetical, it seems that if a machine can think as good as human, it's said to be the general AI. That is, Google DeepMind and natural language processing are a few of these examples. The one which is yet to see the light of the day is the third type, or stage 3, called artificial superintelligence. This is when the machine becomes more smarter than the humans. This is hypothetical. It's not yet into practice, and maybe our grandchildren would be able to see this kind of intelligence soon. Now, one of the aspects where we need to know the relationships, you would ask me why so many technicalities. This is because I'll be using these terms later in this session, where we are seeing some tools for our day-to-day routine teaching learning technologies or methodologies. So the terms here. What is the relation between artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, LLMs, and generative AI? Is that if you understand with an analogy, artificial intelligence is a bigger umbrella. It is mimicking human intelligent methodologies. If artificial intelligence is bigger, then under it are many small subsets of the AI. That is machine learning. Machine learning is when you feed a large data set or training material to the machine, and it learns on patterns, it learns on algorithms, and that's ML. Deep learning, or DL, is a group of neural networks just mimicking a human brain and multiple neurons coming together to perform a specific, very complex task. Now, that is deep learning. Like machines communicate with themselves, it cannot probably communicate with a human being, because the machine cannot parse our colloquial language. That happened when we had Java, when we had C++ as computer languages. So separate languages were required for communication. But now, with the advent of so many methods and so many techniques, we now have natural language processing. This has taken off the barrier of machines not being able to communicate with humans directly. The natural language processing is a kind of AI subset which helps humans and machines communicate with each other. The most important topic which we need to know about is the generative AI. As I mentioned, it's the
Ma'am, your voice is not audible. Hello, ma'am? Hello? Yes, ma'am, you're audible now.
Sorry for the interruption. I hope I am audible and clear now.
Yes, ma'am, you are.
All right. So for those who have missed this, generative AI is when we create the content new. It was not existing before we had it with the prompt. And therefore, we generate new text, new codes, audio, video, images, etc. completely from a pre-trained model. It's a prediction of the content. You need to be very careful. That's because the content is predicted upon the training of the model. So a type of algorithms and data that has been fed is used by the model to give you the content. ChatGPT, Gemini are all the models which are generative AI. Okay. All right. So this is the artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and generative AI and the large language models relationship. As you see, they are all one among each other, and they form a bigger circle of artificial intelligence. One more term is vertical AI, when a tool generates only one kind of, you can say, output, like it generates only an image, text. If it generates multiple things all at a time, then it's a multi-nodal or a multimodal model. So let me see, if I had to tell this concept to our medical teams, we are not trained technical staff. we have to convey this information in a greater depth only if there are a lot of requirements. However, I'll try communicating this information to you with a video. So if you have to do something like this in your classes, in your seminars, in your webinars, where complex material has to be discussed, you can use some AI tools. So let me show you this AI tool called Motion AI, what you see at the right-hand side of the screen. Now, this video has been generated using this tool, and this tool uses the audio, video, and the text when you generate a prompt by using a script. So script makes your job. Just feed it in Motion AI, and here is the output. You have many types of themes available. I chose this, a futuristic theme. So let's see if you all can understand. I want you to please focus on the characters. The characters are those which I just discussed. That is AI, ML, DL, NLP, and LLMs. We have a question coming up after this video. So requesting you to focus yourselves on the characters of the story. So here comes a futuristic medical college.
At a new age medical college, faculty gathered to plan how to transform medical education. The visionary dean of our story is the who says to his team, "Good morning, team. Our mission is to make learning intelligent, adaptive, and youth-centered." Dr. Machine Learning is the evidence-based communicator. He says, "Dean, give me examples. 10,000 UCPs labeled normal and abnormal, and I'll teach students how to recognize patterns." The Dean AI introduces him as the machine read images and see what others miss. TV spots, brain bleeds, even cancer cells. Dean AI introduces DL as the one with bigger network of neurons. Dr. NLP, the language expert. Dean AI introduces Dr. NLP as the linguistic zone, the one who helps machines understand our medical needs, helps us talk to the students, summarize research papers, drug theories, and translate lectures. Resident LLM is generative AI, the creative PG, which is generate a pharmacology quiz for next week's class. The Dean AI says, "We've made great progress, that AI won't replace medical educators, but those who use AI wisely will redefine education itself."
So I hope you have all understood this characters. Now, if in case you have a very complex concept to be conveyed to your audience, be it students or PGs in the seminar or in a webinar and workshops like this, you can create videos like this using Motion AI. This is also a free tool. So let's see how many of you understood. Let's take this question. Sorry. You can again use emojis to answer. Remember, you have to use only one emoji now. Which of the following is a subset of AI which learns by large volumes of data and multiple data sets? Is it deep learning or large language models or machine learning or natural language processing? Okay, I see one wrong answer. A wrong answer, yes. I see many right answers. All right. So people who haven't responded yet can guess. Right. Yes, that's the right answer. The thumbs up, C is the right answer. That's machine learning. With a lot of data sets, we need to train machine learning models. And therefore, C or 3, or you can say the thumbs up is the right answer. Thank you so much for all those answers. I can see a very active crowd. Thank you so much. Now let's go to the second section. We need to here see the AI models. I'll not discuss the details. This is just for the reference of our content today. That is, the AI models are divided into discriminative AI and generative AI. Discriminative, as it means, just classifies the data. The spam folder in your Gmail, the shopping app that you have in your phone, the Flipkart, Amazon, or whatever it is, the banking apps of HDFC, SBI, Canara, whatever you have, are all discriminative AI. They are specialized tools only doing one particular job. The second one is a generative AI. As I've been mentioning, it creates new data. What you see below are the examples. The ChatGPT, the Notebook LM, the 11 Labs, all of these generate either a multimodal or a single modal text, image, music, a computer code, video, whatever. They generate and create new data which didn't exist before you did that. So this is the type or the model. Pay attention to this video. This is the first example. Sorry, this is the second example. So you notice something that has changed. So please give attention to the change. I'm sure you have seen this trend go viral. Now, what you see in generative AI is a hallucination, that is confident wrong prediction. So this we call as a hallucination. If a tool has a high temperature, then it hallucinates. This is the common basic methods. There are intricate details to it. Then what's the temperature of the model? It is usually that hyperparameter which determines many factors, but the most important being creativity. If it is more creative, it has high temperature and therefore it hallucinates or gives you a wrong prediction. So usually our AI tools are, kind of trained on models or trained on data, and therefore they predict the outcome. They generate an outcome. So if the temperature is high, for example, a ChatGPT model, you can see more creativity, but also it hallucinates. So you need to be careful when you use. There are many solutions to that. I will come to it, but then this is what I wanted to show you, the difference between discriminative and generative AI. Now coming to the second part of our section, and that is how we use AI tools. I'm sure you have seen all of that. That is on the left-hand side, our virtual assistants, our social media tools, etc. In medicine, this is what we, on the left-hand side is what we use on a daily basis. But what you see in medicine is the use of use of AI tools in healthcare, medical education, and research. For today, we'll be seeing only those tools which we use for our training, teaching, learning, and personalized experiences in medical education. So what tool I have used is already mentioned, Napkin AI. I'll show you this. It's a very beautiful free tool to generate such images from your ideas. So let's see another question for you. React to this question. Which of the following is not a benefit of generative AI in education? Again, choose only one option because there's only one correct answer. Automated assessment, clinical surgery, personalized content, and content creation. Fantastic. All of you are right. There's not even one single wrong answer. That shows how good we are as clinician experts of medical education. That's very nice of you. So many responses. Yes, it's right. Clinical surgery. Now, my question is not robotic surgery AI generated? It is not. That means it's not a directly related to AI, though we use some technology to have performed the robotic surgeries, but then it's not the direct implication of generative AI. And therefore, the generative AI tools help us in assessment, personalizing content, content creation, curation, and assessment. So the evolution happened right from the traditional era, from textbooks, blackboards, cadavers, to from lecture-centered through for teacher-centered teaching to more of learner-centered. We had digitalization in the form of PPTs. We had LMS or learning management systems. We used CAD software. We used online teaching. Then we went on to use of skill labs, using flipped classrooms, 3D anatomy tables, or EdCom. But now is the era of AI-powered future, wherein clinical tools are available, personalized learning tools are available. For the PGs in the group or in the webinar audience, please look at the left-hand side. You can have many teaching learning tools on Otter, on Jasper, on Canva. I'm sure you have used Canva. WooClap, these are all free tools with certain credit points. You can use them freely for personalizing your study guides, making notes from particular topics, etc. This slide is made from Gamma AI. I'll show you, I'm sure most of you know about it, but then this is a beautiful generated slide from Gamma AI. All right, now let's see how it benefits our education and daily routine. What you see on the extreme right would be the way I would present it maybe a decade ago, but now generation of images, generation or making PPTs is just a click away. So you see how beautiful images can be created to emphasize the same point. That is how advantageous are AI tools in our teaching learning techniques. As I already mentioned, it personalizes learning. It gives new content. Your new PPTs can be made. It gives you a lot of time. It automates assessment. It helps you in research methodologies. Let me tell you, I don't know how many of you go through the Times of India newspaper. This Monday, that is 11th May, there was an article mentioning how risky are our jobs with the advent of AI tools. The most riskiest, it seems, is of statisticians or mathematicians, because most of the AI tools have now mastered mathematical and statistical content. So now the good news for us is that most of the statistics can be generated by using appropriate AI tools. And so that's how it can help us in education and research. Also, it helps us reduce our task of making taking all the focus on making beautiful PPTs rather than communication. So these are the benefits of using AI tools in medical education. So let me show you some few more applications which are on the ground day-to-day basis, and those which have been published and scientifically approved. You can use chatbots for automation of assessment. You can use these tools to have high-stake exams. What I mean by high-stake exams is pass or fail exams. You can use it for summative final exams. You can see the trends of how these students have progressed, and also use the trends to establish whether the results were proper, good or no, comparing between learners and students. You can also use these tools to have, imaging by assessment of images and train students on imaging. You can have virtual patient bank. That means you can train AI tools to act as standardized patients. You can also personalize learning by having virtual simulations. You can also ask the students to take feedback from the trained AI tools. So this is how advanced and personalized learning has become. So all of we teachers who were teaching with just green boards, blackboards, and CAL softwares have to train ourselves, upscale ourselves for the present Gen Z learners. So this is how I have divided the tools. I'll be telling you a few tools. I leave all the interest for you to explore. I have divided the content of the tools into those which can be used for lesson planning, for content creation and curation, PPT modifying. If you have an old PPT, how do you modify it with the newer AI tools? Creation of entirely new images. Remember how we just copy pasted from Google Images into our PPTs? Now no longer you have to do that. You can create your images just by imagining the content appropriately. Of course, you should have a proper reference for it. Also, how do you interact with Gen Zs now that they have a very less attention span? The attention span has been now researched to be just 9 seconds. Can you believe that? The goldfish has 9 seconds, and we also, the Gen Zer students, also have just 9 seconds. So interaction in the classroom is just more than necessary, and therefore I'll just show you some tools for gamification and class interaction. Also, for audio video generation, you can make reels, of course, educational reels, and those of some small movie clips, what we call them as cinema education. You can create evaluation assessment questions, short, long, SAQ, SLEQ, etc. Also MCQs. I'll show you some tools. Also, now that EdCom is a part of our training program, our hidden curriculum can be taught by using role plays. However, will you have dialogues and scripts for your street play is right from these AI tools. So this slide has been created by using a tool called Microsoft Designer. This is an inbuilt free tool in our Microsoft PowerPoint software. Do use it. It is an automated, self-created, suggestive slide framework. You can use it. It's a beautiful tool. Okay, so let me tell you about more tools, before which I want all of you to take your phones, scan the code through your camera app or Google Lens and join Slido. Slido.com is where you can go in your Google browser and join with the code. I request all of you participants to please join without wasting much time so that we can go ahead using this tool. This is also a live demonstration of how we can use interaction in the webinar. One of that I showed you was the use of emojis, emoji poll. Now this is a second type of a poll using slido.com. This is also a free software up to 3 questions or the 3 different types of interaction you can use. I hope you all have joined. Now this is the first question for you. Is the question available on your screens? Please, if someone can put a thumbs up so that I can know that it is there, or you can put it in the chat box. All right. Thank you, Dr. Nitin, Dr. Pallavi, all of you. Thank you so much. I can see thumbs up. So please answer the question. All right. Now, whatever you're typing, I can see here on the slide. Most of you can see. Generative AI is not a tool. It is a method. All right. Claude, I agree. ChatGPT. Okay. Whichever is the one which is popping up the most, the largest font is the one which has been answered by most of you. Oh, very nice. One which I have newly seen. Okay, IPUN is not a tool, but nice to see that. All right, that brings a smile on many of our faces. All right, ChatGPT, 18 responses till now. Notebook LM, I was expecting Notebook more. All right, Google Classroom, Claude, okay. Virtual AI, okay, I have not used it. Notebook, I can see. ChatGPT, 20 of you have interacted. For the next few questions, I request most of you to respond. Those who have already joined, please don't close the window. We have more questions coming up later. Grok, all right, the generative AI, Notebook LM is also there. Gemini, all right, Perplexity, fine, very nice. Most of you have answered, at least 27 of you have answered. All right, let's see more of them. Now, next comes up, this is the take-home slide. Now, most of you can see what are these AI tools. I've classified them depending on the type or use of this tool, pros and cons, and the name of the tools. Notebook LM, ChatGPT, Brisk, Gamma, Gemini, they are all for creating content, new content. All of these are free. They're absolutely free, though they have limited credits. You can use Microsoft Designer, Copilot, Gamma to make your PPTs or modify your old PPTs. You can create new images like I showed you already with Napkin. Flipbook, I'll demonstrate. Then there's infographic, just like a poster you can create from Notebook or even from ChatGPT. Then there's GenSpark AI, which also gives you. Remember, all these are bound to have hallucinations. So whenever you whenever you create content, please verify. I re-emphasize, don't use them directly. Please verify. What pings you see, I am going to show you a small demo of the same. So what you see next are the tools which are used for class interaction. That is Slido, which we saw in the previous slide. Peer Deck, which was mentioned by one of the members of the organizing group. Mentimeter, Google Forms, Survey Sparrow, SurveyMonkey, most of you have used it. They're all free tools, but they have a fixed number of attendees and only a few 100 students or 150 students is available in a free plan. Gamification, you can use EducaPlay, Amuse Labs. I'll show you the demonstrations of those. Then there is video audio clip generation with Clidio. I'll show you a demo. ChatGPT, Motion AI. We saw a video of the New Age Medical College with Motion AI. If you want only audio generation, then you can do it with TTS Maker and 11 Labs. They also are completely free with different types of voices. For questions, we have Brisk, Notebook, QuestionWell, and Slido. And for script generation, multiple dialogues or scenes can be made using ChatGPT. They're all free. The ones which I have pinned are the ones which I will show you as a short demo. Again, I tell you that these are not free from hallucination. A careful selection and verification of the data and also declaring that you are using AI tools is a must. So these are those tools. These 2 slides were take-home slides. They are very important for you to know. Okay, now we'll come to actual tools and the contents which are used. Now, firstly, I'll show you a few of the tools which we use for content creation and curation. What image you see is just the imagination. that I had in my mind. When I was making this slide, I thought I should show you my imagination. I was thinking that there is a sculptor who is giving you a sculpture. It's an almost ready sculpture about to be shown. She is very passionate and trying to curate it very carefully. So when I put this prompt in GenSpark Super Agent, this is the image I got. So you can do this if your concepts are very clear. You imagine what you need to show your learners and audience, and you create it. So let's see the content creating and curating tools. So first one, Notebook LM. Please thumbs up for those who have used it so that I know how much of details I need to tell you. Okay, many of you, Sonakshi, Ruchita, Parvati, very, very thankful to all of you to have responded so quickly. Ashwini, thank you so much. So now we all know that this is a free tool. It's a super agent, a very helpful teammate. The slide shows you the interface once you log in. It has three parts. The first part is where you add the resources. You can add up to 50 resources. You can browse and add content, different types, PPT or PDF, videos, and etc. Link to videos, of course, can be added. This is the source. This is the input. Then the second one is the chat window where you get responses from the tool. And the third one is the studio, the output. So the Notebook LM uses our medical education technology, that is input, process, and output. Now what you see in the output are 9 headers. That means you have 9 different outputs, some in the beta version, most of them available in English, but a few of them, audio, video, and the infographics, can be converted in many Indian languages, including Hindi, Kannada, Gujarati, Tamil, Telugu, Marathi, etc. So you add your content, chat with the tool with an appropriate prompt, and get the output. So I'll show you a few of this. Of course, I know that most of you are experts in this, so I'm not going into the details. I'll just show you some of them. So please concentrate on this short video where I have generated a few important contents and show you the output. So I had added these contents, 4 sources I had added. You see, I have added a PPT which I prepared, that is one which is selected, and a few other references and a very good YouTube video. After that, I gave various prompts to the tool, that is the LLM, and I was creating output in different languages. Of course, my colloquial language is Kannada, so I had used some Kannada outputs and English outputs. So let me show you one of those outputs which is the most commonly used and the most advanced now. What I request you is to have a very good prompt. I emphasize your prompts should be in paragraphs and not just lines. The right-hand side arrow helps you go to the prompt section. Write a very specific and detailed prompt. For audio video generation, you can choose the language. And once you have given a good prompt, this is the output that you get. The first thing that I'm going to show you is in the form of a slide deck. It's a non-editable PPT. So this PPT is generated from my old PPT. The content is used from there. These are RAG models of AI. That is, they reiterate, they use the content that you have given, augment it, and then generate. So you see what I'm showing you now is the prompt. It's a paragraph prompt which is very detailed and which gives us a non-editable PPT. I'll show you how to edit it later, but then this is the PPT that is generated. What I'm showing you second is the output of a mind map. These are dynamic mind maps, interactive ones. You click on the arrows and you get more details of it. These are downloadable and you can incorporate these mind maps in your presentations. The next is, there are many, okay, you can try and explore. What I'm showing you right now is generating presenter slides or presenter notes. So if you select only your PPT in the source section, ask the LLM to generate presenter notes. So it generates lecture part wise. It will club a few slides and tell you what you need to talk in your lecture related to those slides. So this is the prompt for it. You can pause the video once it's uploaded on the YouTube and can use this prompt. Make it more specific for your audience and class, and that's how you get it. So lastly, I would like to show you one very beautiful aspect of LLM notebook, that is our poster creation or infographic. Now this infographic also needs a detailed prompt. more the details in the prompt, more specific is your infographic. So you can use this infographic to present posters, apply it in your lecture presentations, and that's how you explore it. The video, audio also can be generated from the notebook, and it is interactive too. During the chatbot conversations in the audio, you can participate and ask questions to the LLM and clarify all your doubts. This is for all the undergraduate and postgraduate students. This is a great guide to learn. You also will get notes if you upload the content and make study guides for your seminars. So that's the first tool for content creation, Notebook LM. All right, the second tool is Napkin AI for image generation. This was free. This was free a while ago, completely free, but now it has a certain token limit daily. You have to use this very judiciously, and it's just a click away. Imagine your concept and it's a click away. What I'm showing you now is after logging in, this is what is your interface that you get. There are different types that you can generate. Once you click on new napkin, you have these three options of pasting your content and creating the data, image from the text. Also, you can use the already present image and create a new one. So I've opted for typing my content and generating with image with a text. So I'll show you one of these. I typed the title. I put the content from one of my textbooks. I wanted two images, one about toxicities of anti-cancer drugs and some drug-specific adverse effects, that is, adverse effects of individual drugs. See this, it just generated with a flash. It generated new images, and these images were not there anywhere, neither in Google web pages nor in any of the textbooks. So these are completely new and customizable. What you're seeing in the video right now is a customizable image. What I mean to say is you can't edit the text, but you can edit the color because it's based on the content that you have given. The content appropriateness is high. It's a RAG model, as I was telling you. On the content which you have provided, augments and generates data. So here there are two images which are generated with the content that I pasted. So the content clarity is quite nice, so I don't have to worry about it. But it gives me so many options to make the images more colorful. But then because I wanted to keep both the images same, I have chosen a similar type of image. So I have two images which are very similar to each other, and I can use them in my presentations. So the same I have done in my present webinar presentation also. What you see is a image which is very colorful than that I could have imagined. So this is entirely copyright free, because this is, you are the one who is the creator of this, but always acknowledge the tool that you have been using and mention that it's AI generated. You can export the visual in the form of a PNG or a JPG image and use it in your presentations. So this was a second tool for content creation for images. Now the third one, this is mesmerizing. At least I had a lot of surprises with this tool. It's just out in this year, called flipbook.page. This actually gives you dynamic images. They claim to be dynamic, but then it's still under development. Let's see how you do it. You go to the page called flipbook.page and upload an image. So we are now converting image to another image. I'm sure most of pharmacologists know this is from textbook KD Tripathi of Mechanism of Action of Anti-Epileptic Drugs. I just upload the image and click on the part I want to know more. I clicked on the GABA chloride channel, and now you get a beautiful image which was never seen in any part of the Google web page or the textbook. The new image gives you entirely something new. So you see the GABA receptor chloride channel. This is downloadable. Though they say they could have given us a video, a dynamic picture, but then it's not available as of now. It's still under development. I use the same image, but now I click on a different part of the image. Now I'm asking the image to, the tool to show me the mechanism of action of the drugs which act on GABA degradation. So it has shown me gabapentin's mechanism of action. You see how detailed the image is. I re-emphasize, before you publish it in your PPT presentations, verify the content. So this is again the tool which helps us create a next image or a different detailed image on the part of a previous image. So I hope I'm clear. This is also a free tool which can help you find more details. most helpful to PGs because you can learn intricate details by more of interactions and not from boring text material. So you can upload images, make more detailed study of things from flipbook.page. So this was the third tool for generating a second image from the first. Of course, if you type the content text, then also you can build an image, but I showed you this second option. For creating PPTs, now this was, I'm sure most of you know, the Gamma AI tool. It gives you 120 credits. It's a one-time credit. You cannot get more credits. You have to pay for it. 120 credits are free, 40 credits for creating one PPT, max 10 slides in one PPT at once. So there are many options. When you click on generate a new Gamma AI, this is how it goes. There are many options. You can ask the LLM to create. You can paste the content and create PPT, use templates, or import your old PPTs and modify. I'm showing you quickly some of those. I showed you this was the notebook PPT that we had. Notebook LLM gave us this PPT. When I put it in Gamma, this is how the PPT came out. You see the font size in Gamma AI is very, very small. So your prompts should be asked to make a bigger font size. So I did that here. I asked the Gamma AI to completely prepare a new PPT for me. I put a detailed prompt and asked to use images. So this is the output. I got a good, clear PPT. Now you see this, how this was the prompt I had given. You see the details I have mentioned: 36 font size, 28 font size, 5 to 6 bullet points, no sentences, only phrases for the topic on anti-cancer drugs in inverted commas. And these are the outlines of my slide. This is how it had to make a condensed, concise slide, not many lines in the content. Also use web images. There are so many options. If you choose AI images, then the credit points will be used up more. And also, if you want any other instruction, you can add it for the color, etc. You can choose the themes and then generate. At least 10 slides can be generated for max at once. So you see the output. That was the output which I showed you. A very beautiful web-based PPT was generated. Now, if I had to directly ask the LLM without any prompt, without a proper prompt, and I choose a narrow part that is only on classification of anti-cancer drugs, you see with 5 slides, it will give me more details on a particular small topic. So you can use multiple small topics and prepare your PPTs, and that is the trick. You will get more details of the topic. This was the first one that is without a proper prompt. You see, I've just used only 2 lines to create this PPT. That is just telling the audience that it is going to be a lecture class. If you have a small prompt, it will give first an outline, ask you to choose the theme and then the image, and it generates 5 to 10 slides. Depending on 10 is the maximum number, and depending on what you want, it will generate a slide. So I showed you that slide content. You can download these slides. They are in the form of PPTs and they are editable. So you can use Gamma AI to get editable PowerPoints. I'm sure most of you have used that, and this is quite a basic tool, and most of you might have already mastered it. So this was the 4th tool for PPT content creation and curation. Now, there are many others which I showed you in the list. You can all explore. The more you use them, the more experienced you would become, of course. Now, if you had to use something or an AI tool to create for your EdCom classes, now we know that we have a lot of communication skills to be trained to our students. Now, this is a multitasking method. There are many other methods, but this is my favorite. That is, you choose the EdCom module, you upload it to the first tool, that is ChatGPT. I told you this is having a high temperature, so it's very, very creative. So you give a proper prompt, a detailed prompt. There are GPTs to even generate prompts. So you can make a very detailed, very good prompt and ask the GPT to create a script for you. So there will be different parts in the script. First, it will give you a story based on the EdCom module that you have uploaded. Then it will give you dialogues for the individual characters. Then it will make scenes. You can even restrict the scenes. For the next video that I'm going to show you, I had 6 scenes. I had different characters based on the EdCom, NMC EdCom module. And then I chose GPT with the proper prompt. I asked the script preparation. Then I fed this script to the tool called Motion AI, and the Motion AI produced the video. And then I had generated using dialogues only the audio from TTS Maker. So you see there is an integration of 3 modules. When I use the audio and the script in Motion AI, I'll get the output. Because I had already shown you Motion AI, I'm showing you the next tool, that is Clidio. This is another tool where you fuse all the content, that is your text, your dialogue, your audio, and the video that you generate, and make the video. The images are from ChatGPT, and the script also, the scene and dialogues also from ChatGPT fused in Clidio, but the voice is from TTS Maker. So this is EdCom 2.5, which we used to teach till 2023 batch from Pharmacology. Just enjoy this and give me your feedback later in the feedback form.
This is Lakshmi Srinivasan, a 48-year-old woman presenting with lymphadenopathy and complaining of mild fever and weight loss for the past 4 to 5 months. On examination, there are large rubbery lymph nodes in the axilla and groin and a palpable spleen. She is accompanied by her caring husband, Mr. Srinivasan. Lakshmi undergoes lymph node biopsy and the pathologist calls Dr. Mehta and tells that Lakshmi has a lymphoma. That evening, Emma, Srinivasan comes into the office of Dr. Mehta and leaves the report on his table, in which the final diagnosis has been altered to tuberculosis by wiping out the pathologist's report. When Dr. Mehta looks up, Mr. Srinivasan says, "My wife can't handle that diagnosis. She has always been a worried, frightened person. Please tell my wife that she has tuberculosis." Dr. Mehta says to Mrs. Lakshmi, "Your biopsy report shows a condition called lymphoma. The good news is that it is treatable." Lakshmi says worriedly, "Lymphoma? Is that cancer, doctor?" Dr. Mehta says, "Yes, it is a kind of cancer, but with modern therapy, many people recover well. I'll be with you throughout the treatment." Mr. Srinivasan then regretfully says, "Doctor, I just wanted to protect her." Dr. Mehta kindly says, "I know. But truth, told with compassion, helps patients make their own choices. It is her right to know about her diagnosis."
So as you can see, you can appreciate how empathy, respect, truthfulness, and compassion has been shown in the video by just generating the content which wasn't there. So this is generative AI tools which help us create entirely beautiful videos. You can even use a new tool called Google Vids from Google, where you can generate even animated videos. What you see on the, of course, you'll have to have a paid version, and so I've not included it here. Under free version, you get only 8 seconds video. You can generate multiple such videos in Google Vids and fuse them using the same tool. So that was another tool which you can also try for Explore also to make EdCom videos. That gives you, these are non-animated pictures. Google Vids would give you animated videos as well with proper themes. So this was the tool which also is a part of content creation for EdCom and communication skills. Now coming to section 2 for assessment, if you had to create questions. Now this picture, what you're seeing is much more evolved picture from ChatGPT again. See how different it is with in terms of hallucinations. There are very few spelling mistakes, and you see the scenario is of an MD pharmacology final exam with designations. Now this is how a prompt makes a difference. If you want to create pictures with a lot of detail, you need to have a proper prompt. You make a detailed idea or imagination of for the ChatGPT to have a clear vision, and then you can generate images like this. So let's dive deep into the tools for question generation or for assessment. So the first tool is Brisk Teaching. Now it is meant for teachers, but I'm sure most of our postgraduates would also like to use it. I would suggest you use and check. Now for this is a Chrome extension. You need a Google Chrome browser only. So if you are using some other browsers, this might not work. So use a Chrome browser, use an extension. What you see here is an extension which you have to install after you have downloaded the software. This is the only tool where only logging in will not help. You have to use the extension. So this extension appears on your right lower corner after you have installed it. So let's see how it works. This is Brisk AI Teaching. It has many options. I'm showing you only two options. The first one is creating a quiz. Now this quiz is entirely created by the tool. I have just given a prompt. I again re-emphasize, your prompts should be very specific and clear. You mention select which grade, university or graduate grade, how many number of questions, and whether you want an essay or a multiple choice question, and then type your prompt with a lot of detail. And the output, what you see here, is in the form of Google Forms. So what happens next is generation of a quiz right into a Google form. There's no need for you to type or copy paste your questions in Google form. It does it automatically. You see the prompt being very clear. You can even type more details. Mention it is needed for whoever you're assessing, the audience or the students. Always mention the difficulty level. In our university, we use Bloom's level, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. You can even ask for HOTS, or that is higher order thinking skills. Automatically, it's fixed up to 4, 5, 6 of Bloom's taxonomy. You also mention how many correct options you want, more than one or only one. Sorry, only one is what you need to mention, and just include sources when you're doing it and brisk it. So when you brisk it, you see that within seconds, less than a minute, you get a beautifully framed, well-documented Google form ready for use. So it takes maybe less than a minute to frame a Google form. Now, what you're seeing right now is generation of the Google form. In the questions that you had asked, you can even boost it. You can ask for answers. You can ask for translation into the same question into other languages. What you see now here below are the questions. You can add images. You can add more connotations to it. And also you saw that there were references. You can verify them. I emphasize, please verify before sharing and using these questions. You copy the URL and share it with your students, and that's how it is used. So this is how the Google form looks. And this is the preview of the Google form available for you to directly share it with your students. So let me show you the second way of using Briskit. Now, brisk teaching, where you are not sure whether the tool generates appropriate content. So now you try to use the tool for content creation or question paper creation via web page. So you have to choose a web page. Now what I've done here is I have gone to Google and chosen one web page for the anti-epileptic drug mechanism. I have chosen the first option, or say the most appropriate option, which I felt. I chose a page. Now we are going to generate questions from this page, most useful for PGs, of course for teachers too. Now what I'm going to do is ask Brisk teaching tool to create questions from this web page even without opening it. I have, of course, read it. It is my duty to read. I have read the paper before, and I'm sure it's a very well documented literature. So I now create a quiz with an appropriate prompt. I choose for whom, how many questions, what type, multiple, etc., and then give this appropriate prompt. Now, after I've given the prompt, I also need to know whether I want long question, short note, etc. You can create multiple such questions and brisk it. So now here is the content creation. Because I had got a web page, there was no option of including resources here. So you see, within seconds to a minute, I have MCQ questions from a web page, even without downloading the web page. So this is how Briskit works. There are many other options available. You can create rubrics, study guide, notes. You can even prepare material for your presentation and share it with your students for future reading. You can make SDL notes. Many such things can be done with Brisk AI. So this was the first tool for generating questions. I showed you only MCQs. You can make many such questions in the different forms. So now let's see, this is the next tool called Question Well for question answer generation. You see there are multimodal options. I'm showing you only one, using a YouTube video to frame questions. I chose one video on methotrexate's mechanism. I uploaded the link and then asked the LLM, the tool, to make the questions on this. Please remember, it won't work for every type of a YouTube video. The video should have transcripts. Only if the video is having transcripts uploaded, then you can choose this. So it can generate many types of questions, true, false, short answer, etc. Just uploading the YouTube video, you get these questions. This is how it generates.
Methotrexate is an anti-metabolic drug which has similarities to the vitamin folic acid.
So what you saw is the interface the student's going to see. So the students will see what teardrops you see at the lower end of the video are the timestamps, the time at which the MCQ has been prepared. So at that particular timestamp, an MCQ has been generated. It gives you the core details, the difficulty level, the concepts which the student should know, and also the right answer. So these are ready to use MCQs. You can even prepare different types of questions. You can have all these exported to you. Remember, these questions cannot be directly pulled into a Google form. They are payable versions. The free version gives you a downloadable PDF. That is, you go to the print option and then you get the PDF downloaded. You will have to convert the PDF into Word or directly paste them into the Google form or take a print and share. So this was question well for you for creating questions. You can also use text prompts. As I'm showing you, a simple a phrase can be used for creating prompts, though I suggest your prompts should be very, very detailed. So I can use a text prompt and also create MCQs. So this is question well, it's just doing that. I have just added a text prompt, and you see what I'm doing is I was not very happy with my prompt. So now what I did was I pasted my text content from one of the textbooks, the part which I wanted to refer, that is methotrexate's mechanism. I copy pasted that and I asked the tool to generate questions from the pasted text. Now what you see is the MCQs. Again, the text is available for the student to read, and also various MCQs with the correct answer are available. It's also showing from where it has picked up the question. The yellow highlighted on the left-hand side is the content from where the question has appeared. Again, I re-emphasize, the questions may or may not be appropriate. Please verify and validate them before you share it with your students. It also gives you the type of MCQ and also the level of the MCQ, the Bloom's level, available for print and download export as a PDF. So this is a second tool, that is question well. Now coming to the last section for tools of class interaction and gamification. This image, I had shown you flipbook.page where we created an image from an already existing image. But this image is entirely by a text prompt. So details you can see for a large group or a small group, how do we use class interaction? So let's see the first tool. This is called Educa Play. Amuse Labs are also there. This is my favorite. You see how the games are framed here. Many options available, a few of them being free. And the number of times you can create is restricted in a free plan. We used Pharma Interaction Quiz in our department for practical on student interactions of pharmaceutical representative. This is a froggy jump game. The questions are uploaded in this AI tool. The questions are displayed in the form of a game. The student's right choice allows the frog to go higher. There are only 5 attempts available and bonus points also. So the points get collected. The student has to correctly answer the questions for the frog to cross the pond. So a wrong answer costs a life, and with 5 attempts, he or she is supposed to finish. So this is how the questions and the right answer gives a trophy to the student. And now the trophy of the student is now our formative assessment marks. We can tabulate these marks, and you see they are available as a printable assessment sheet. Now here, because only one student, that is me, who had answered, I get the average of 1. But if you have multiple students, kind of using it, you can have a detailed list or even a graphical statistical analysis of your student assessment. It is a shareable link that it creates, which you can use. You see many crosswords, unscramble and matching and map quiz, etc. You can use. These are all free. and to a particular extent. So this is Educa Play for creation of games. This is how the sheet looks when you take when you're typing your questions. This is a manual type. There is also something called as Ray inbuilt in the software. You can even generate a quiz, but I don't suggest that. You prepare your own questions and type them here so that it's much more without hallucinations. Okay, so those were the demos. Now coming to the last section, please bear with me for 5 more minutes and I will be done. The ethical issues and challenges what we face, the cons of using AI tools. I'm sure most of you have these questions in mind. Yes, when you're sharing such AI tools with your students, the privacy problems are there. Now we have become over-reliant already on the AI tools for preparing PPTs and so many other. We have less of a critical thinking, but then we need to upgrade ourselves and judiciously plan how to use them. There are issues of plagiarism and cheating, so it's always very, very right to announce your conflict of interest or copyright issues. You also, if you're using them in a university, let the university and college frame appropriate policy guidelines for the limitations of use of AI. Ethical concerns of bias. Now, my PPT looks very good because of use of tools and how it is if a hardworking individual does it on its own. So these are not comparable. So there is a fairness and a bias issue also there. Also, you need a lot of IT support and also payable resources mean a high cost. So these are some cons which probably might restrict the use of AI in our day-to-day teaching learning. Finally, how do we look at AI in our future teaching learning methodologies? I'll tell you that we need to upgrade, we need to upscale. We have to think about our futuristic trends. We have to be abreast with the developments. Therefore, a careful integration, a judicious use of AI for tools of teaching, learning, and assessment have become mandatory. We all know that probably many things are temporary. What is permanent is the change. Therefore, learning such changes in our curriculum and the day-to-day routine and a part of our daily life is a must. So we have to change in that way. We have to promote our lifelong thinking, also encourage use of and development of AI tools and stimulate a focused approach for development. What I need to tell you or emphasize is that AI tools flatter us. Now, if you notice, ChatGPT says that whatever prompts you give, whatever ideas you give, whatever your imagination is the best. It tells you you're good going and very nice. So just don't get flattered, always remain grounded. And also, remember, AI is a brilliant servant, but a terrible master. So don't allow it to create whatever it wants on its own. Use appropriate prompts. Use beautiful, creative, elongated, lengthy, detailed prompts. That is how you can make it a very good, brilliant, valuable servant. So that's my suggestion and request to use AI very, very responsibly. Right, finally, you see, I'm a big fan of Times of India, and here was one of the images last year I saw. When automation came, we all thought that our burden of hard copies is less. But then now we are doing both soft and hard copies, and we have almost abolished our donkeys. I mean, you understand what I mean. I'm sorry to use that word. No offense. I just meant that we are carrying both hard and soft copies. Let's not do that with AI. Let's use AI for appropriate creation. Let's have a good governance. Let's train our peers, colleagues, and other students and yet to be learners and teachers. So let's be proactive, let's collaborate and have a good adoption of AI tools in our education. This is going to benefit both our students and faculty. Thank you for those beautiful responses of all those who have agreed. The last poll, the 2 polls where we get the leaders and the leaderboard. Please again log into your slido.com. Just scan this with your camera app or Google Lens or join with the code. Rank the AI tools as per your choice for, please read the question right, for text content creation. Tell me your choice. Once people join, I'll show you the poll. I think most of you have joined. Now this is the poll. Please participate. We have total of 56 participants. So at least 50 of you can poll. Let's see how many of you can do that. Okay, ChatGPT ranks first. As you see, this is a dynamic poll. As people vote, the voting will change. The number of responses will change. Thank you, Nagma. Thank you, Anusha, of all those responders who are appreciating the session. Dr. Anvin sir. Okay, please rank the tools as per your choice, which is your favorite for, remember, text content generation, not anything else, just the text content. Okay, Notebook LM is quite not famous, I guess, but I do agree. ChatGPT is a very creative tool. Okay, only 7 have responded. More responses, please. We are quickly running out of time. Okay, I hope most of you could answer. Any difficulties, please put them in the chat box so that I can learn from it for my future sessions. This is Slido, a free tool for interaction. Okay, now let's, no, we have only 12 participants. I request the others also to answer the last question. The last question, here it is for you. Join the quiz. This is the quiz. We have only 20 seconds. So please answer quickly. Which of the following tools cannot be used for video content creation? Please be careful, mindful when you opt. Here, the quickest is the winner. So answer quickly. Okay, we have only 3 seconds left. Only few of you answered. I'm so sorry. All right, let's see who has answered. ChatGPT. Okay. Brisk AI. Okay, now let me tell you the good news. ChatGPT is coming up with that. Brisk AI doesn't give you any video content generation. So let's see who is the winner. Okay, Ritz, whoever it is, please give me your full name in the chat box. Congratulations to Dr. Ritz, Gaurav, Ruchita, and Dr. Sonakshi. Congratulations. And most of the important thing is that you need to know various tools. You can try and use them, explore more tools. So the last slide is the references which have helped me prepare this. Please don't yet leave the meeting. I request all of you with whole heart to give me a feedback. I thank you for your kind attention. Please share your constructive, valuable feedback. Makes a big difference to me. Please mention in the comments that if you had any problems while understanding my presentation and the details that I told you. I would like to end stating that technology will never replace great teachers. Be less fearful of that. But technology in the hands of great teachers can be transformational, as said by George Couros. All right, so please scan the QR code and give me your feedback. The good news is, once you go to the last part of the feedback, you will get the whole list of the tools which I have used, the whole list of tools that I just presented, and many more. You will get the list at the end of the feedback form. So please take a minute to give your valuable feedback. Over to you, to the organizers, to take over. Thank you so much, Dr. Shruti, Dr. Ashwini. Thank you so much, Kavleen. I'm so happy. I'm glad my students are here. Dr. Rakesh, thank you so much for joining and making this session worthwhile for me. Dr. Dimple, Dr. Pallavi, Arunima, Sonakshi, Dr. Pratibha, thank you. Thank you so much, Sunita. Thank you. Over to you, organizers.
Those participants who have any query, kindly ask it in the chat box. If not, we will conclude the session shortly.
Okay, are there any questions in the chat box? Okay, thank you. I get the answers here. I also thank Dr. Ashwini for the response. Dr. Ritish. Oh, congratulations, Dr. Ritish. You were the winner of our last question. Thank you. Any questions?
As there are no questions, we will conclude this session.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Panwar. I also acknowledge the AMER consortium to have given me a few details while presenting. I acknowledge their help. There was a question in a chat box and sadly disappeared. I don't know whether I can see it. Acha, how to prevent distraction of students? All right. I would like to suggest that you can add interactions. You can add games. You can have some question answer round or some games in your, you can even allow them to browse, use their phones Though this is controversial and open debatable question, but then if you have a small crowd and you know you can take over, you give them some games to play, you can ask question answer round, you allow them active participation. You make sure that this is going to be useful for them. It's said that assessment drives learning. So you say that whatever interactions they are going to have with you is going to be useful and will be marked. That's the easiest way to grab their attention. So the attention span of the students is said to be less. So every now and then you add an interaction, either in the form of a question, change the tone of your session such that you can have an attention of the students. That's one way of, kind of reducing the distraction, make it worthwhile. For an SDL, all right, I did tell you, now if you want to have content generation for SDL, then you can use notebook, you can also use Brisk AI and question well. You can have some study guides generated, but for the conduct of SDL, you can have multiple components. You can have storytelling, you can use Bold's AI to prepare a storyboard, and then SDLs can be generated as a case story. That's very innovative. You need to explore the tool called Bold's AI, or you can have a flow chart in the form of a mind map. You can prepare mind maps and allow the students to learn from Notebook LM. You can also make case studies, study guides, again using Brisk and Notebook. Your ChatGPT is open for innovation and creativity. You can ask ChatGPT for valuable comments. Give them give ChatGPT an appropriate prompt. What is your actual problem with all the details? Say, for example, if Bolt AI, of course, you can use Bolt AI too. You can also add details in your prompt in GPT and ask it to give you various ideas. You will, be amazed to see what ideas ChatGPT can give you. A little bit of workup on that will make a difference. You can have innovative learning teaching methods. I hope I answered you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Any other questions? Thank you, Dr. Mrudu, for coordination. It was very nice being with all of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Thank you.
Yes.
So
as we come to the end of this insightful session, on behalf of the Indian Pharmacologists United Network, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed speaker, Dr. Radhika Sherkhane ma'am, for delivering such an engaging and thought-provoking talk on Med AI Unboxed, from prompts to practice. Ma'am, thank you for simplifying the concepts of artificial intelligence and demonstrating how AI can be used responsibly and effectively in medical education and professional practice. Your valuable insights on smarter teaching methods, emerging trends, and ethical AI usage have truly inspired all of us. We would also like to extend our sincere gratitude to Dr. Anupama Desai ma'am, HOD and Organizing Secretary of IPUN, for her constant guidance, encouragement, and support in organizing this webinar successfully. A special note of thanks to Dr. Arvind Singh Panwar sir, founder and coordinator of IPUN, whose vision and dedication continue to create meaningful academic platforms that empower students and professionals across the country. I would also like to thank all the participants for their enthusiastic participation and active involvement throughout the session. We hope this webinar has provided valuable learning and practical insights into the evolving role of AI in medicine. Please stay connected with IPUN for more such enriching academic activities and collaborative learning opportunities in the future. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining us today. All registered participants have been issued certificate through Certifier. Have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you, ma'am, once again for this session.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks a lot.